Hello, everyone, and happy National Planner Day. My name is May from Creations by Mayo May. And if you're new here, welcome. If you are a current subscriber, welcome back. Today, I want to go ahead and share with you my August setup. I have been back and forth using my FrankenPlanner, which, if you don't know what that means we take bits and pieces of other planners or extension packs and put it together for our main planner. What I have struggled with this year, to be honest with you, is sticking to one format. And I'm sure that is a struggle for so many of us planners, but that's the good thing about planning. Like, you don't have to keep it the same the entire year. You could switch it up. Some months you might want a vertical layout, then you might switch to a dashboard layout, or depending on what you're using your planner for, you might need different layouts. Maybe you just need a monthly for some things, and then you might need a weekly or a daily for other things. So today I'm going to go ahead and try to put together what I think will get me through the rest of the year in my FrankenPlanner. So I hope you stick around and see what I'm using, and hopefully it gives you a guide and possibly motivates you to get your planner together, maybe make some changes. Or if you don't have a planner or you don't currently use a planner because maybe you're a digital person, maybe this will give you some ideas of what to include, whether you're a paper planner or a digital planner. Let's get started. So I do want to start with my main planner that I have been using this year. Now, this planner is the Kell Plan Inspired Intentions Planner. My children did purchase it for me for the Christmas, and I love it. I do use this like portfolio or folio from the Happy Planner that I did purchase a few years ago, and I love it because I'm able to go ahead and slip things through here, and just so that I love the color. I do want to go back and maybe clean it up a bit because it does. I did use this at work, and then I brought it home because the planners I've used for work are the larger size. But I do love this. I love that I could close it and just take it with me on the go. So I do have the Kell Plan Inspired Intentions. I do love this format. In here, I do have my year at a glance. So I have the entire year written out. And these are from the Scrappy wife. I'm going to go ahead and check to see if she still has this. I love these. I'm probably going to need another extension pack of this because I do love having this in my catch-all so that it's ready to go. Any appointments, anything that's upcoming, I can go ahead and add so that when I actually prepare my month or my weekly, I can just refer to this. That's usually, I just kind of scribble things. Sometimes I'll put Post-its. So I do use this from the Scrappy wife. As we get into our monthly, so we have June. In my FrankenPlanner, I do like to have 3 months at a time. And I do like to have like the previous month. So maybe usually 3 months, but maybe 4 months. So my June, my July, which I have not done my currently for these. It's been a really rough summer, you guys. And so I have gone ahead and added my August, which today is August 1st. So I will be setting up my planner, and I do have September. Now, just to backtrack a little bit, I made these like dashboards using acetate and my Cricut. I went ahead and labeled it. So I do have my year at a glance one. And then love the colors, the pink and the purple. So I did make that the label at the top. And then I do have my weekly. Now I have made a few other ones, which has my daily. I do have one for wellness and one for meals. So I think I'm going to go ahead, and since it is August 1st and I'm getting back into work mode, my summer break is now, will be officially over in just a couple of days. It's a good time to go ahead and build some routines or get back into routine or add some new routines. And these are not new. I made them a while ago. I made them like a year or two ago, and they were part of my FrankenPlanner. But over the months, just got busy, and I took them out, and I try to keep my FrankenPlanner to just the year at a glance, the monthly, the weekly. And I did have and I will go into my cleaning and my daily sheets. But now, again, we're going back into routines. So I'm thinking I'm going to go back and add my meal planning just to help me with budgeting and planning. And I have been sick a lot of this summer. And I think I do need to kind of like monitor what I'm eating. I do have some appointments coming up just to see what's going on. I did have that cyclospora parasite infection, and I am recovering. I'm doing a lot better, but I'm just wondering if there's more. I do have other um, issues, so I don't know if it's just changing or if there's something else. So I do want to try to keep track of my meals, and then planning my meals and having everything ready for the week does help so much with preparation during the school year because of events and practices and what have you. And something I definitely need to get back to, and then I probably mentioned it before, but my youngest daughter, she does play volleyball, but she wants to do maybe like walks, like 5K or runs. Although I'll never do a full marathon again, I wouldn't mind training and getting back to a half marathon. So I do want to go back and work on my fitness and my wellness. So let me show you what I am planning to add. So I do have my Kell of a plan. It is a vertical layout so here we have the Kell of a plan, inspired intentions. So for August, results speak louder than words, which is perfect for now because like I said, got to get back into routine. Maybe we have to add a few things to our routine, maybe make changes or get back on it because I've been on summer break. So here's the monthly. I do have a few of these habit trackers that I believe were from Habit Planner about many, many years ago. I still have some. So I put this in here just so that I can probably keep track of a few things. Maybe like my water intake. Am I really drinking my 8 containers or 8 glasses of water, which I'm pretty good at? Getting my steps in, being active, taking time for like self-care. So this is in here just in case I think of putting that into my weekly and focusing on that. But it is this planner is a vertical layout, which I do love. As I've probably said before, what took me time to adjust to was the sidebar on the right instead of the left, but I've made it work. So that is how it is set up. And then same thing, September is here. Again, I like to keep 3 months at a time in my planner. For September, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. Love that. In addition to that, I do have let me see if I can pull it out, Kell of a plan. I did buy the cleaning extension pack earlier this year. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but some of us do need that like check things off. So I do want to stick to this. And I know it seems kind of redundant if you're going to say, for here, the kitchen, vacuum, mop, wipe down the counters, clean the sink, disinfect the sink. It does seem a little redundant and ridiculous. So I think what I am going to go ahead and incorporate into it is like find something in each area. So I keep going back and forth and I apologize. I love this extension pack. It did have this divider. So I'm not sure if I want to make another like dashboard divider or just keep it like this because it might be too much sticking out. I do have a Happy Planner, these snap-in sticker sheet protectors. So I did have a few of them. So I would have this next to my wellness. And just so that I can add when I'm going into my weekly, daily, or my wellness, I also had this one just to give me some quotes so that if I ever take my planner on the go, I had some stickers ready to go. Let me just pull these out for now. And again, this was that habit tracker. But I did like this extension cleaning pack. Gave you the planning for the month, the quarterly, the semi, declutter challenge, what I looked around my house, what I wanted to work on, the laundry schedule. And this I really didn't use. I mean, I did use the laundry schedule on the opposite side, but I didn't really add this. Don't know if I should keep that. But I do love this cleaning plan. And what I think I'm going to add is like in each area, maybe find something to do a deeper cleaning. For example, in the kitchen, hopefully, you are cleaning your oven and doing a deep clean, maybe possibly monthly, but how often do you really pull out move the oven or move your fridge and, vacuum and mop and clean behind there? So although it is part of my cleaning plan, you over here, you have it written monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and you add that. This is a perfect way to remind you what you're doing and go ahead and target that. So I'm thinking I can go ahead and target that each week. I love the daily task because it's just like, again, check off, I got up and made my bed. I did some decluttering, that tidying up, like take 5-10 minutes to tidy up. Make sure you're doing the dishes before you go to bed. Just those daily tasks that you don't even think of, but you're doing. But hey, you can, or maybe you forget and you don't do it daily and you want to start doing it daily. So I love this. This that I have here, it did come from a Happy Planner extension pack, Home Sweet Home. And I just like to have this here kind of as a guide because although you do get into your routine and do your things naturally by instinct, sometimes you kind of need a reminder, and not necessarily that this is what you have to follow, but I do like that it gives you like a reference, and maybe you see it and you're like, oh, let me focus on this. Maybe I need to go in and take all the trash cans in the house and, disinfect it, sanitize it. So I do like having this with the chores, this chores with the cleaning, I should say. So this is from Kell, the extension pack. Again, I do use it regularly. So with that, I already have a few weeks in here to get me through August and September. And then the next section I do have, again, I have the little snap-in sheet protector. The next thing I do have is the daily sheets. I do have some already in here. So I have my daily dashboard acetate divider that I made. Now, this came from, again, another Christmas gift that I asked my children for. So they did, or I don't even know if I asked them for it, but I definitely love Kell Plan materials, planners, accessories, everything. So they did purchase this for me. So I liked this Celebrate Every Day because it is a daily sheet. And although I do have her daily sheets that before they, I think, sold out, I did buy a few packages of them because I do love them. I love that, I could just go in and highlight. It's undated. So I can go ahead if I need a daily sheet for today, but maybe not tomorrow. I don't have to waste them. I could just, sometimes I decorate them full out, but sometimes I don't. But I do love the way it's set up. I love the flexibility of going ahead and, putting your schedule here so that you can time block your day, or maybe just make a few notes. I do love following like task blocks, which I learned from Heart Breathings. And I started focusing on that just so that I can manage my time. And I really like that. So what I usually do is create my own task blocks here. And again, this is why I love the daily sheets, because you can be, it's flexible. So I do like to mix between these and these sheets. Now, the difference between these two, this extension pack and the actual daily Celebrate Everyday planner, is that it has the box for celebrations. What I was doing before was I would use this like when we have anniversaries, birthdays, events, special events coming up. But then I said, I'm not using this every day. Like I feel like I'm wasting it. So what I thought about and I started doing recently is when I do use these pages, I figured, let's go ahead and celebrate something. What did you accomplish today? So, just since I'm getting back into my routine and feeling better from this illness, I have been able to get up and go out for a mile walk, a mile and a half, and like start getting, adding a little more to my walks. I do want to get back into my bike riding, but I got to start somewhere. So little by little, I can add that as a celebration. I was able to walk a mile today. Oh, today I increased my speed and maybe I walked 2 miles and I started the Pilates. So that's the way I'm thinking of continuing the celebrations if I'm going to use it. Like this week, it was one of my sister's birthday and it is my niece's daughter's birthday. So I do have that written down. But like next week, August, we don't really have birthdays. So the next week I can use it as, what can I celebrate for me? So I do have my dailies in here and I do have some ready to go, but actually I only have 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull a couple. So this is what I would do, like the task blocks. I would use one for the week. And then as I went through each day that I created it, I kind of focused on each task block. What did I use? How many were available for the week? So that is how I kind of did it. Like, look, this in March, it was my husband's birthday, my nephew's birthday, and what we were doing. But then, so then here I just didn't think of at the time to write my celebrations, but now that's what I'm thinking of doing. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull a few of these and add it in here. Again, this is behind my daily dashboard divider. And I'm going to add a few of these. Again, these are the daily, and I love that you can also create them for weekly. If you don't want to, if you don't have a whole planner, weekly planner, and maybe you just have these, you can go ahead and use these. They're so versatile. They really are. Go ahead and add a few more of these dailies. So in the original pack, it's must do, should do, want to do. And again, if you just saw some of the ones, my previous ones, I did change it, modify it with stickers and whatnot for me. And then the reason I do go back and keep the planners and just add everything back in here so that I can refer back to it if I need to each month when I go ahead and prepare my planner. All right, so I have my year at a glance, my monthly, my weekly, my daily. I do have what I'm debating is, I think I'm going to put these daily sheets. I think I'm going to move this because if I'm going into my daily and my chores, these are things that are happening on a daily basis, right? So here are my daily sheets. I'm going to pull some of them out already. But I am going to go back and have the cleaning section behind my daily. You go back and add that in here. And hopefully this gives you an idea when you're setting up your planner. Maybe you get an idea of what you can add or something you can change. Or maybe it's something that you are also already doing. All right, so that is that. Now I know this can get really full. I do like to take this with me if I'm going to, like, if I go to my daughter's practice and she's going to be there for a while and I'm going to stay, I do like to take my planner with me and I'll work in there and jot things down or set up my planner for the week or the day or what have you. But a lot of times it just sits here in my craft room on my desk and I come back to it morning, at night, during the day, whenever I'm working on it. So it's not necessarily that it's always on the go with me. I do have my mini Kell planner, which I do take with me and I jot down everything I need or everything I'm doing. And in case somebody gives me any information, I do go back in and jot it down. So this is usually with me in my purse all the time. I don't usually take my catch-all everywhere, to be honest with you. All right, so I do have my cleaning. What I did say I do want to focus on now is my wellness. So let me go ahead and put this dashboard divider, however you want to look at it. And in here, I'm kind of torn because I do love, actually I have to go back into this one too. I do love the wellness tracker from the Scrappy wife. I do love it because it helps me track, instead of creating my own tracker, it does have the sleep tracker, self-care activities, again, the habit tracker, and the gratitude that you can add for every day. So I do love having that and tracking that weekly. So I'm going to take a few out. I do love that it has blank space on the back so that you can jot down any notes. Maybe you're going to reflect that week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm putting too much. 7, 8. But you know what? Just let me get 8 so that we can try to get August and September in there. So I do love to use these, and along with this wellness tracker, and sometimes this might be too much, but it does get me to focus and be intentional with my planning and my me time. What I also purchased at the beginning of this year was Kell of a Plan Self-Care Extension Pack. And I'm going to add this here because when I was using it, I was sitting here and working on this every day. So as part of my wellness, I'm going to add a little divider for the self-care just so I can kind of separate each section. But I do love this because it is undated and I can go ahead and also keep track of my mood, how I'm feeling every day. I can note down one thing or something that was good about today and a self-care activity, whether it's washing my hair or whether I go do my nails or just a mental little break. And then just the self-care activity weekly list, the self-care bingo, and the daily affirmation. So I do have a couple of books I use. I do have affirmations for manifestations. I do have daily affirmations for women. And I do have another book that's called like Daily Sparkles that I do love to kind of switch it up. But I do like to go ahead and put, especially with these daily affirmations for women, because they're pretty short. They're not that long. and I can go ahead and add them in here and focus on that for the day. But I could also go back, and usually this is in my car, and I read it in the morning as right before I get to work. So these are kind of what I use for my daily affirmations. So I do love that about this self-care extension pack from Kell Plan. So I'm going to make sure I have that in here, a few of those, so it's out of order. I love the 30-day self-care challenge because it gives you quite a few things, 30 items, 30 things that you can do. And, you can go back and add what you did the day you did it. Sometimes, I do these daily. I do multiple times throughout the month. So I do love having this in here. So here is and it's front and back, so you can do 2 months at a time. I also loved this self-care monthly tracker because it basically takes some of these self-care items that you're doing, things that you're doing, not items, sorry, things that you're doing, and it puts it here. Make your bed, one thing you're grateful for, which could be what your best part of your day, washing your face, paying yourself a compliment, listening to your favorite song, tidying up, eat a nourishing snack, unplug for the day, say no to something that drains you, write down your top 3 for the day, which that's what sometimes I would use the back of the Scrappy Wife's wellness page to go back and write my top 3. So look at how I go ahead and incorporate the 2 different extension packs from these planners, small shops, into my one. Reading before bed and getting 8 hours of sleep, which I rarely ever do, but I love having this and working on this each week and each day because it really helps you focus on you and good to track like your moods and what you're going through and for any health issues. So just making sure I do have plenty to get us through August and September. So I just never know. No, I'm gonna keep it like this. So the monthly tracker here, and again, you can go ahead and highlight and you just shade in what you've done for each of the days of the month. So that is all part of my wellness section. And I might have to, for real, go back and take out the stuff for September and just keep August when it comes to these weekly, because then this gets so full. And again, this is usually stays on my desk. I don't usually close it. Okay, so again, self-care extension pack by Kell Plan. Something that I don't have in here is I'm trying to think of where I got it, sorry. So I usually keep, I guess you call it like a prep planner, but this old happy planner, cover, and from an old planner, I just put it in here, created, and what I do is I actually took all of the inspired intentions planner and I put all of the months and weeks in here, and I just, like I said, I pull 3 of them at a time and put them into the planner that I'm currently using. So this holds all of the ones I've already used and the ones for the future. So here's October, November, December already here, but obviously January through May is still in here because I put it back when I finished. So this holds everything, and it did hold so that was part of some extra happy planner stuff. So as you can see, this was January for my self-care, and then how I basically used it. And then here's the Scrappy Wife, the wellness that I incorporated. But I did have a fitness section, and again, now I'm feeling a lot better, so I'm gonna incorporate the fitness back into my planner. So this holds everything that I've already used and the upcoming months. So I'm going to go ahead and add this dashboard divider. And I still have a few sheets from the Scrappy Wife, going back and forth here. The Scrappy Wife fitness. So monthly fitness, we can go ahead and track our steps, our activity, everything we do in the day. So I do want to get back into tracking my fitness. So I do have that dashboard divider here. And this, again, is from the Scrappy Wife. I think this was the last that I have of this extension pack. So I'll have to look on her website to see if she still offers this. But I do like that you can go in for each day of the month and kind of put your steps, your activity, your calories, whatever it is that you want to focus on, or like your rings. I know that Android is a little different where we have like the heart instead of the rings, but it's similar. So I used to go ahead and kind of like draw my little heart in the different colors, in the green, blue, and pink for each day. So I do like doing that. And I like that on the back, it has like the 30-day challenge, what you're going to focus on, why it's important for you, your strengths, your weaknesses, whatever the habit is that you're going to focus on. And I like this part of the reward, because I would always like give myself something, like reward myself for implementing a habit and sticking to it. And these are the weekly fitness pages. So I'm starting to see it is filling up. So I'm going to go ahead and just take actually 2 sheets, because they're front and back, one for each week. Again, I love that it's undated, so you could go ahead and put what you're working on each day, any notes, your motivation, whether it's a picture or a few words, and your weekly goals. What are you focusing on this week? Are you focusing on abs? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you just strength training? Like, what is it? So I'm going to just pull 2. I'm going to put the rest to the side. So yeah, I'm going to have to order. And usually once you get a few weeks, like once you get towards the end of the month, you have the back. So actually I'm going to put these 3, because you have the back so that you can make notes or any pictures, any, measurements, whatever you would want to add back there. So I'm going to actually put these pages here to get me through August. So that is that. The next section that I said I was going to go back to, along with the fitness, is my meal planning. I do like to keep track of what I'm making for dinner, for breakfast, for lunch, for everybody in my family. And actually, if I focused on this and continued it back in May and June, or April, May, and June, I probably would have been able to narrow down possibly what I got the infection from. So I'm kind of bummed that I don't know specifically what it was that I ate that got me sick, but maybe if I had written it down, I could go back and narrow it down. So this is the meal planner sheets extension pack from Kell. I know I checked for it recently and I did not see them, so they were probably sold out. But I did buy this, I want to say towards the end of last year, maybe I bought 2 of them, and that's probably why I have so much. So I love the monthly meal planner because I can jot down quickly what I'm making or what I plan to make, and then just show. Then it has the section for the grocery list, like what you need when you're planning everything out. But I do love this because sometimes, when I'm making meals, I have 3 kids. So sometimes they're happy with what I'm making, and then sometimes they get bored. That's what usually happens with my youngest. She gets bored of the meals that I'm making and wants me to try new things and make new things. So I have to do it. I have to switch it up. So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 of the monthly meal planners just so that I have it ready for August and September. And on the back, you have your grocery shopping list. And then this is the weekly planner. Love it. Gives me enough space to write anything. I don't always decorate these with stickers, but I do fill it up as much as possible. So again, each week you also have the grocery shopping list. So if I'm planning, I can flip this over and write what I'm going to need for the week, so I could take it with me or add to my, Amazon device, so that I'm ready for the week. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is for August. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. And I'm going to go ahead and do the monthly one for September just so that I have it ready. So again, this is the meal planner sheets from Kell. I'm just going to throw everything here in my pile. And I'm going to add that to my meals. Now there's a couple more sections that I am going to add to this, just because it might help me stay focused on track and not keep going back and forth. So I don't have a dashboard divider. I might end up making one, not sure yet. But what I do definitely want to focus on a little more is incorporating my work planner. Now, this work planner I did purchase from Kell last year. And this is more for like my little side hustle business where I do crafting and shirts and mouse ears or any type of crafts. Like sometimes people ask me to make snackle boxes or gift boxes or gifts. And I sometimes write it in my catch-all weekly personal, but I kind of want to focus and write these things in this planner, which is why I originally purchased it. But I started and then I stopped. And what I also wanted to do was note down for like my social media so that I can kind of stay consistent with my Instagram and my YouTube. And I failed. And it's because I think I had it separately and I was going into 2 planners, and then I just wasn't using it as much. So I did start, and then I fell off track. I don't even, trying to see where I have. Yeah, I can't even. So I tried to get back into it this year, or this month. I did get sick, so wasn't so successful at that. But I do want to go ahead and set myself up to go ahead and have this in my catch-all. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pull out for August. So this is the work planner now. I didn't use all the months. So, but I did get ahead of myself and buy the newest one that Heather from FrankenPlanner released. I loved it. I love the setup, and I figured, you know what, I've used a few months already. So there are some months that I didn't use and some months that I did. So I just said, let me buy this ahead of time and be prepared so that I can incorporate for the months I'm missing, months and weeks. What I do love about this planner is that the month is like the divider, and I could always buy, which I did buy last year, the extension packs for the daily and the meetings, I believe. So I love the project one too as well, because anything that I was working on, I could go ahead and add. It did have its daily section, which I did buy a lot of those as well. But I don't think I bought like anything else, any extension. So again, I did use this a few months and I stopped. I love that I can go back, just add the extensions and keep from either one, the new one or the last year's, and just fill it up with the extension packs. What I do love about this is that the way it's set up, your monthly overview, what are your goals, your habit tracker, priorities. Usually I keep like information for my social media here or anything I needed to know, anything to look ahead. And then again, undated. And then the weekly plans. Sometimes I decorated these pages, but sometimes I didn't. It was just so that I can make notes and plans. And I would even add like the social media stuff, which I'll get to now. And then the monthly recap at the end, like your reflection for the month. So I do love this, and I think this is going to help me. So I am going to take it out for August and get that ready. And although I don't, like I said, I don't have the dashboard divider to make it like a work or side hustle tab, I'm going to consider it. But again, I'm going to each month just put it back into this planner, and that's why I have that here. But at least, yeah, I might have to go ahead and create another so that I have by section. But at least I'll know like this August one for now. Again, I'm going to have to, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I'm going to have to create a dashboard for it. It just doesn't make sense. Like the wellness went with like the self-care sections, and then the daily section does have the cleaning and the daily sheet. So, but this has nothing to do with where I left off on the meals. Okay, so here is my work/side hustle section. So the last two things I want to add, and I don't have the packages, but FrankenPlanner did release earlier this year a goal extension pack and a social media extension pack. And I did kind of like go ahead and get it ready and prepped it, but I did not use all the pages. And again, just I wasn't being consistent, and I need to follow through. And I think it's because I just had it separate. Again, this was another planner that I had it in. So it's not always available. So I'm thinking if I put it in my FrankenPlanner and just put everything back in here the way I used to, obviously I didn't have these in here because this is something she released, and it was something I said, let me go ahead and purchase. But if I have it here, I'll be more intentional and I'll be able to plan. And if I see it, like I'll get it done, right? So I'm going to go ahead, even though like I loved this whole idea because she really focused on what you need for your social media, whether it's YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, she thought of it. And I love that, again, undated, your goals, what's your video content? Did you film it? Did you edit it? Upload it? Description? Is it monetized? Your tag? Like it breaks everything down, your task, the notes. And here, like, what is the photo? You can either print it out or maybe you just write it in the caption when you're posting them. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few of these for the week along with this divider and section into my FrankenPlanner, just because I need to be consistent and continue. So I'm going to go ahead and add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and take these. Again, they're front and back. So I'll just put it in for August. And I'm going to take all of these pages from it. And I just might go ahead and create another dashboard for it. So when I have it all together, I will possibly share maybe when I go ahead and do September's. I can share anything I've updated. So I'm going to take that. And I do have the goals, which I wrote my like personal goals, my goals for the year. I do like this separate. I don't know if I'm going to add it. Let me just put it in the social media for now. And then I will add the goals. The goals I did choose like, I think 4 or 5 goals for the year that covered different aspects of my life. And I did want to add it to a Kanban board that I created. Again, I got that idea from Heart Breathings. And again, if I see it, I will do it and be more intentional and get things done. But if I don't see it, it's not going to happen, right? So there are some things that I did get to do, finish, accomplish my goals, and some things that I didn't. So I think I will go ahead and add it. Maybe it'll be a good way to have in the back of my planner. As you can see, it's already filling up. So I will definitely have to go back into the cleaning section and anything else in the fitness, whatever, wellness, and take out the September ones. But anyway, whenever I am looking at these, I go by the tab and just flip it to what I need. So go back and forth. Yeah, I'm going to have to switch that because it is getting full. All right, so I think I am going to put the goals in here. As you can see, I did not continue writing my annual goals, but I even posted, did post-its for each goal. And I want to work on, so, and then I'm going to add just a couple of the weekly sheets to the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, I guess. So just 3 pages. Okay. Another planner that was an old Happy Planner, and I just switched it up for my needs as part of like my prep. But again, if I have all of these planners and I don't see them every day or I don't work with them, I'm not going to use them. So I need to put it all together where I can see it, and I can each day, night, after like my actual job. If I don't see it, it's not gonna get done. So this is my catch all, which has all of my sections, again, very full. So I will go back and maybe take the extra weeks I don't need. But I do need to have my focus on my goals, my plans, and be ready for the routines, get back into routine or add some new routines into my lifestyle. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully this gave you a few ideas, whether you are a digital planner or a paper planner, or maybe this is stuff that you're already doing, or maybe you can share some of your tips, your tricks, your ideas in the comments below. But if I do add anything else, I will go ahead and add it to or share with you guys in my September monthly prep. So happy National Planner Day to everyone. I hope you are taking the time to plan your day, your week, your month, your life, your year, and that whether you're paper planning and using stickers or colors or whatever it is, that it just makes your heart happy, and that it helps you plan a life that you can enjoy and that you live to the fullest. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already following, make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this and be notified whenever I have a new video. As always, I hope this video inspires you to get up, get crafty, and make something or plan your life today. Until next time, bye-bye.